All right guys, so earlier you saw me make this sweet little tag set. Now let's make the holder for it. Y'all stay tuned. All right guys, you know my belief that presentation is everything, and it absolutely is. So these present beautifully on their own, but when they're housed in a beautiful holder, they just really kick everything up a notch or two. And that's exactly what you want to do at your craft fair. You want your booth to be the booth to be. You want your booth to be the booth getting all of the buzz because of all of the beautiful and useful things that you have at your booth. So let's go ahead and get started on making this wonderful holder. So to make the holder, I am going to start with 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 4 by 5. And then I have a piece of chipboard that measures 5 by 1 3/4. And this is what I'll be using to make my box. So I'm going to bring in my paper, and it's this gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas in the Country collection by Frank Garcia. This side is beautiful on its own, but this time I want to work with this side, and I'm going to position my board so that what looks like barn fencing or barn siding is actually running up and down, and I want most of the red, so I'm going to put my papers on this side. So I'm going to come back, and unfortunately I've got to cover Santa on this one, I think. And I'm just going to place my boards down, and then I'll take my spine piece or my center piece. I'm going to place it down, then I'm going to turn this around towards me because it's easier for me to do it this way. And then I'm going to place that just like that. And then I'll come back with my finger blade, and I am going to remove this. And then I'll come back, and I am just going to fold over my edges. And you'll notice that I left this part on there because it's going to be hidden, so it saves me on my paper. So I am simply going to come back now and miter cut my ends. On all 4 sides. All right guys, so then I'm going to come back and I am going to run tape all along my edges on all 4 sides, and then I'll fold over my edges. All right guys, so my tape is up, and now I'm simply going to fold over my edges, and I'll do this on all 4 sides. Alright guys, so my edges are folded over, and I have placed the tape in the center so that I can place my liner down. My liner piece measures 9 3/4 by 4 3/4, and I am simply going to run some glue along the edges so that I can get this stuck down. Take this and let's put it down just like this. I'll try to make sure I get it nice and centered, and then I'll come back in with my paper towel and just start spreading that glue out underneath, and I'll come back with my bone folder and just help it. Alright guys, so our paper is down, nicely folded. And now we need to make our side pieces, and our side pieces measure 1 3/4 by 4, and I'll probably be trimming this down a little bit. So all I'm going to do is find some extra paper, scrap paper that I might want to use on my project, and I think this one works well. So I'm going to place this down, and then I'll come back in with my finger blade and cut it out so that I can fold it over And then I'm going to remove any excess that's here on the side as well. So then I'll come back in with my glue, and I'm simply going to place my glue down, just like this. And then I will pick this up, stand it up, and then just wrap this over, just like this. And I'll come back with my bone folder just to make sure that I have got everything nice and tight. And I'm simply removing the excess paper. Make sure I've got it all, so I don't want any interfering. So then I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to place it in my box, and what I'm checking for is I want to make sure that it doesn't stand up over the top. I don't want that. And then I want to make sure that I have a nice snug fit on the sides as well in here. So I am going to remove just a little bit of this, and I'm going to do it with my scissors. You can do it with, you can put it back in your cutting tool if you want, but I think I can get a pretty good cut with my scissors, so that's why I did it that way. So now all I'm going to do is come back in with my glue. I'm going to take my glue and run a bead along all 3 raw edges of this. And then I'll get this stuck down. To make sure you get a nice bead going so that you can definitely make sure your project does not come apart, because if you're going to sell it, you want to make sure that it's the best quality that it can be. So then this has words on it, so I want to make sure that my words are going in the right direction. So I am going to take this, put it down, bring up one side, and then I'll bring up another side, and then I'm just going to hold this. And this is a process that you guys have seen me do many times. So all I'm doing is I'm simply going to hold this in place and press down to make sure I have got a really good stick. And then I'll be back in just a moment to do the other one. All right guys, so we can go ahead and place our second side piece. And I am doing the same thing. I am running a bead of glue, getting nice coverage, and I'm running that on the 3 raw edges of the side piece. And then let's get this stuck down. So I am very carefully going to take this, and then I am going to just position this inside. Then I should be able to come back and just squeeze it closed and get it nice and tight. All right guys, so our beautiful little box is all dry, and I am going to add feet. And I think that the feet are just going to make this box so beautiful. So I am going to use my E6000 to add my feet. And this is just part of that next level look that I like to give to my projects. And that is why you will see me do things such as this to a box that you ordinarily wouldn't see other crafters doing. It is what I like to do for all of my projects. This is all about next level crafting, and adding feet certainly takes it to the next level. So I'm going to go ahead and add the other feet, let them dry for a moment, and I'll be right back. All right guys, so my little feet on here are dry enough for me to work with. But just remember, when you're using E6000, it does need to cure for 24 hours, but it's dried enough that I can place some weight on it and that I can work with it. And one other tip, if you lay your box down before it completely dries and it wobbles, just take your hand and press lightly to level those legs out, and everything will work out just fine. So now we get to do some really fun stuff, and we get to decorate this sweet little box. So I cut up some of the paper, and I just cut out a picture of Santa that I liked, and then I added it to some red cardstock. And I'm not going to give measurements on this, because if you choose to do it, then it's going to depend on the size of the picture that you cut out. But what I always try to do is I always try to have an 1/8 of an inch border on all 4 sides. So that's my goal. So then I'm going to place this down right there, and you can already see that I have transformed this box. It is gorgeous, people. Absolutely gorgeous. And some of you might be asking, why did I put feet on a box that's just going to hold cards? Because when I make a project, I try to make my projects so that they are multifunctional. This is a gift-giving box, but it's also home decor. So once you've given away the tags that are on the inside, you can use this box throughout your home. You can use it in the kitchen to place kitchen napkins in, Christmas napkins. You can put it in the bathroom and place Christmas hand towels in it. You can fill it with candy canes and sit it out on your desk so that when people are walking by at Christmas time, they can help themselves to a candy cane. It has many, many uses. I am not a one and done crafter, so I always try to look for other alternatives that my projects can be used for after the initial reason why I crafted it has been used up. So that is why you will see me go to those extra steps, because these extra steps bring extra money at your craft fair. So let's go ahead and finish decorating this. So I broke out my jingle bells, and I've got a whole bunch of jingle bells that I bought from Hobby Lobby at the end of Christmas last year, and I got this set here, and I bought a whole bunch of these. They were originally $6.99. I bought them at 80% off, and boy did I rack up on these. I've got silver, gold, and red, and I just love them. They truly are the sounds of Christmas. So I am going to take this little jingle bell and just place it right there, and I'll bring in my hot glue gun to do it. So I'm going to put a dab of glue right there, and then I'll take my bow center and position it right there in the glue. And how pretty is this? Guys, this is really gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So then I want to do one more thing, and I am going to come back in with one of my little red gems here, and this time I am going to place a little bit of glue, because I'm not sure that the gem will stick to this ribbon, and then I'll come back and place that right in there. And guys, it's all about the little details. The little details make or break your project. It's all about just going to the next level. Now, can you say fabulous? I know I can, because this is fabulous. And I am going to bring in my cards, and I'm going to place them in with this laying down so you can kind of get an idea of how this will actually look out on my table. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that next level fabulous? There is nothing ordinary about this, and it's not a hard process. It really is the way that I like to present everything that I'm making. I want it to be pretty, I want it to be beautiful, I want it to be the highest quality, and I want it to be multifunctional. And I have certainly achieved that with this, and you can achieve it too. So I know you guys can make this project, and I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I hope you will consider joining my online crafting family. As you can see, we are doing some amazing, amazing crafting. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.